The question is, does Scofield have the resilience and the stamina to do reality TV? The scene is set for Phillip Schofield's comeback, as if it were the final act in a drama written by, let's say, Alan Hollinghurst, something melancholic, elegiac, decidedly English. Imagine him emerging from the sea, a pale, weathered figure more akin to Ursula Andress in a parody than the golden boy of daytime TV, ready to face a new reality literally and figuratively. This is no ordinary television resurrection. This is a man who has been through the ringer, tossed into the waves of public scandal, and now attempts to paddle back to shore, dripping with hope and a touch of seawater melancholy. Reality TV has long been a double-edged sword for its participants. When the first wave of such shows hit the screens with the scandal hit Expedition Robinson and its successors Survivor and Castaway 2000, it was a kind of raw, unmediated spectacle that allowed the public to gaze at the real struggles of individuals stripped of the gloss of traditional television. But Expedition Robinson, where it all began in 1997, also saw the first reality suicide as Sinisa Savija, one of 16 participants, suffered buyer's remorse, fearing a bad edit. Before the show started airing, he had stepped in front of a speeding train. Mark Burnett's Survivor, the ultimate version of elimination TV, turned ordinary people into archetypes of human endurance, thrusting them into the wilderness and watching them fracture under pressure. Schofield's own challenge on Castaway echoes these early formats, where the harsh reality was not just physical survival, but the slow unravelling psyche under the camera's gaze. But as far as I can see, he's on his own. He's not for elimination, so the brutality of this reality show is that the viewers alone might switch off in their thousands. And the transition of celebrities to reality TV has often been fraught with risk and dependent on the crack cocaine aspect of endless viewer addiction and curiosity. From the early stints of people like Razor Ruddock and Les Dennis on Celebrity Big Brother to the more recent sanitized spectacles of Farage bearing his bottom on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, the genre has offered a form of public penance. It's a dance with the devil for the famous. The format promises redemption and a return to public favour, but can easily dissolve into self-parody or worse, public humiliation. Think of the example of the lady who did the cleaning programme. Phillip Schofield's entrance into this arena is both a nod to and a departure from this tradition. One can't help but draw parallels to those reality TV participants like John Leslie, Michael Barrymore, even Matt Hancock, who looked for redemption on screen with mixed results. I think that's putting it mildly. It's partly the old Quentin Crisp adage of virginity conferred by an appearance on a small screen. The familiarity and warmth of being welcomed into the family living room. The reality genre, by its very nature, thrives on vulnerability and authenticity of being yourself on that screen, of being invited into the house, into the home. But it's also built on the crumbling of facades. For Scofield, a man accustomed to the safety of the studio sofa and scripted banter, the leap to solitary introspection on a desert island might be a leap too far. This is, of course, the question of why. Why would a 62-year-old, bruised by sensational scandal and public scrutiny, choose to expose himself to the unforgiving, sea-stained lens of reality TV? Why would anyone create a whole new show around this man? And the answer lies partly in the format itself. Reality TV has a curious way of reinvigorating or permanently damaging careers, and for a man who has been a household name for decades, it might be the only stage left. I'm a Celebrity and Survivor are the gladiatorial pits of modern fame, and Scofield, whether consciously or not, has chosen to step into the ring, but a ring of his own making. Phillip Schofield's ring. Self-defined. But even there, does Scofield possess the resilience required to survive this new iteration of reality television? The narrative constructed entirely around him, ring-fenced. That remains to be seen. Reality TV demands more than just physical endurance. It demands emotional rawness, a willingness to bleed for the camera and to prepare for the aftermath, the anxiety about a bad edit, the management of fame and the loss of agency. I think Scofield may be ill-prepared for that. This is a man used to agency, used to control, and to surrender that to a ring of sharks, he must have the confidence in the production team that goes beyond hope. I suppose a tailor-made show for Scofield, with a production team he trusts, is a safer bet. I don't know what the production team is like. But there's still the performance itself. In a postscript that Hollinghurst might appreciate, it's not the physical challenge that will test him, but the psychological one. Can he strip away the layers of morning show artifice and present something real, something unpolished? The show's success will depend on his ability to be vulnerable without being mortal and honest without being sensational. And ultimately, his return is a gamble, a casting away, sandwalking, literally literal, not just on a literal island, but on the treacherous terrain of public opinion, the shifting sands begging for personal redemption. Whether he emerges from the waves, victorious or vanquished, washed ashore or swallowed by the tide, remains the question. But for now, like some latter-day lost Prospero, Scofield stands alone on his island, battling not just the elements, but the ghosts, very much of his own making.